Good evening. It is October 8th, 2025. This is Manic and Chill. As always, if you're here, if you're watching this back, make sure you're liked and subscribed to the channel. Bunch of content out there. If you want to be a member where you get the Dynasty Deal Show and the Trinity Monday Show with Ray and I, you get that as a member of the Trade and Chill tier on YouTube. $3.99 a month gets you in the door, and you get those 8 shows per month. And then on the screen, ddfantasyfootball.com, patreon.com/allgas. You get access to our community, which Shane is in there. I mean, how many shows do we have now inside the Discord, Shane? We have like
just in the Discord
5 or 6 a week usually.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. All I know is if you're a patron, you get a lot of stuff, man. Like just even on the Patreon page, right? So obviously it gets you access to the Discord and the podcast that only those members get. It also gets you John Bauer's tiers, Follow the Volume from me, Shane Says from me. Like there's just all types of stuff on there. And yeah, the Discord is it's probably the best benefit. I mean, if we're being honest, that's where a lot of trade ideas come from. That's where a lot of league ideas come from. Just a lot comes from that.
Yeah, I mean, I would lie if I said that we don't get a lot of our content ideas and stuff. What do we want to talk about? It usually stems from conversations in there. So anyway, not to belabor on that, but tonight's title is Rookie Reconciliation, Shane. And I think people might have expected when they saw that we're going to go through like all of the rookies. I mean, we're going to do a rookie mock, like a remock. I've seen some other content creators do that. I think it's interesting because you're having to draft for the rest of the season, and we're so stuck in the what is happening right now, like who just had a good game week 4, week 5, that we've pretty much lost all like long-term evaluation on players anymore when you're making people go through this rookie stuff during the season.
Yep.
But I also want to have like more of a theoretical or philosophical conversation on rookies because we had a lot of rookies this year that have not fired thus far.
No.
But now that you're in positions where it's like, man, I'd really love to add something to a third to get a starter. Maybe not even a good starter, but just I have a couple leagues where I have already traded my seconds. And a second is usually what you buy like a non-good, I don't want to say elite, but just a non-dynasty starter. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like not a young good player, but you can just get points for a second. But when you don't have a second, it's tough because normally people don't want a third or they want 3/3. And unless you have 3/3 or an injured player, it's harder. So I've been trying to find like, what is the archetype of a rookie that I can add something to get, I don't know, like just the Jacoby Myers type, the Deebo Samuel type. Like, it's just a mercenary player that you're trying to buy for points the rest of the year. But sometimes it's not that you're not giving them fair value, because if you put, I'll just throw a name in there, like a Jalen Knoll. You put him in KTC, he has some value, right? His value exists. But then you go to try to trade him, and it's like he's not worth the value in flexible assets, nor is it the type of return a lot of times that somebody wants. So they're just kind of throw it. I mean, there's a few others that fit that bill. But good evening, my friend. 4 minutes of me introing, and you gave a little bit. But how are you?
I gave a little bit. Give a little bit of your love to me. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm all Phillied out, ready for them to start the comeback tonight. Ready to turn around those fortunes of Philadelphia because it was a rough sports weekend. So no, man, I'm good. Full swing. It's dynasty season, man. It's point scoring season. It's week freaking 6 already. There's teams that you're gonna have to start cutting bait on if you haven't cut bait on. Like this is every week telling yourself that you could still climb that mountain gets a little harder if you're not pulling off, wins, or if you're just going 1-1 on medium weeks.
Yeah, if you have trade questions, hit those Dynasty Deal Show on Friday. I don't think I will be there this week, so you'll get a lot of Shane. And you know what? It might be a good thing for those that watch every week, because you know what people don't get a lot of times on Dynasty Deal Show, Shane, because you and I talk so much. They don't get a lot of Ty's brilliant analysis.
Yeah.
And sometimes he can be the most reasonable one of the three of us.
Oh, yeah.
And he's kind of just pigeonholed into he has to host the show so that you'll get some Ty analysis if it's just Shane and Ty. But no trades. That's where we'll hit our trades. We might do one at the end of the show or not. But you want to do the rookie mock first before we get into the theoretical part, or Where do you want to go first? The theory or the fun?
I'm good with the mock. I want to do a mock. Let's get the mock right out of the way. We'll get the hot takes going.
All right. So we're going to do, we got to spice this up a little bit. We have to make all the positions valuable. So we're going to do we'll go a 12 by 11. We'll do 2 rounds. We'll just go back and forth. And 12 by 11, let's go 0.2 point per carry. So enough that it matters, but not drastically. It's not 0.3 or 0.25. We'll go 1.75 premium, and we'll go 6 minus 1.
Okay, so 1.75 premium.
Yep.
Okay.
0.2 PPC, and then 6 minus 1. So kind of juiced quarterback scoring to where like having a quarterback is a must. Having a decent quarterback is a must in the Superflex. You don't want to be starting week 5 version of Cooper Rush, but you do want to start largely any quarterback that's playing because just getting that scoring benefits quarterbacks more in the Superflex. So you want to go first or second? We'll go snake order so that you can either get 2 or 3 or 1.
I'll go first. Everyone's going to talk shit, but I'm still taking Jenny first. Still taking
in this format too, right? Like point per carry, like you're taking the hammer running backs. Yeah,
absolutely. The dude has been producing, now not at a running back 1 level, but he's been producing with one of the most putrid offenses alive. Remember when we, there was a reason Seattle moved on from Geno Smith. It looks like because he's not very good at football.
You know what's funny about that? That is one of the universal topics, and there's not a lot that the NFL dynasty fantasy space agrees on. You look back, that is one of the few moves, no matter where you were from. Most people said that was a terrible move by the Seahawks. What are they doing?
Yeah.
It was Sam Darnold's not as good as Geno Smith. And why are they trading Geno Smith for such a cheap price and paying Sam Darnold what they're paying him? Meanwhile, you're looking back, you're going, Sam Darnold's like the best quarterback in the league. Geno Smith's largely the worst or one of the bottom 4 or 5. The Raiders, remember, they gave up a third as well, which is, if you can draft decently, a third is a starter. You know what I mean?
What they could get with a third?
Seahawks are just like the,
you know what the Raiders probably could have used a third on? An offensive lineman. Yeah,
sure.
That would have been nice. But no, I'm still going Jenny. Look, we know the volume is going to be there. He's been involved in the receiving game, which has actually saved him. That's what saved him last week. His yards over expected are pretty good. It's not Ja'Cory Krosky merit good, but it's still pretty good. And I still think that Genty is going to be an absolute monster. I mean, obviously the Raiders are going to need to do something. And hopefully that something is Tom Brady says, thanks, Pete. We tried this, but we're going to need you to just go away now. And I don't know. They got to do something. I don't really care, but whatever they do, I'm still fine with Genty at 101.
All right. So there is the first pick. So I get to go twice. I think it's already interesting because 101, Ashton Genty. I think 102, even though the format does not lend towards receivers. I mean, just what you can do with Emeka Egbuka at 102.
Mm-hmm.
You have to take him. Just he's the best asset. Even though you and I would probably take. I don't even think this is crazy. I would probably take potentially 3 running backs over Egbuka in a point per carry like this, but you probably wouldn't if you're just trying to play the asset value. So probably 103 is where the breaking point is. I mean, I know who you're going to go. I will take Amarian Hampton over Quinshon Judkins, but I think you could easily justify trading Amarian Hampton for Quinshon Judkins. If you wanted a player to start for the next month, could be longer. Although it does sound like Hampton's injury is going to be just 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not going to miss. It's not one of those where it's like it's 4 weeks and then we're going to reevaluate. It does sound like he's going to come back, but you'd trade Hampton for Genty, right? Or Hampton for Judkins.
Absolutely.
Like who cares about the, like they've both shown that they're good. They're both going to probably have similar roles or more for the next couple of years. If I have to eat the the 4 weeks of, the downside, and I like Hampton fine, but if I want the production for the next 4 weeks, like, sure, I'm fine to it. They're interchangeable. So I'm guessing that's what you're doing at 104.
So that's what I was going to say. So I made a deal where I think it was yesterday or the day before. So I moved my Hampton and Brashad Smith and I forget what else, another piece for Ashton Genty. Like, whatever. They're just chess pieces on a board. I don't really give any cares about their names. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I have no ties to these dudes. If Judkins were the one that was on the IR, I would have been moving my Judkins for Hampton. I would have been moving my Judkins for Genty. You know what I mean? And I do the same with Hampton.
I think the problem is that if Judkins was on IR, you wouldn't be able to get Hampton for him because of where they started.
Not. Yeah.
But that Hampton's the one out because he was seen as maybe a little bit better to start. People took him higher. He was a first-round pick. Like, he was just seen, I wouldn't say a tier above, but he was just seen to be a little bit above. So when the value corrects for the injury, people are willing to do 1 for 1. Like, I'm surprised you're able to get Genty for Hampton. Like, in a deal where, like, you're able to up tier and you didn't have to add like 2 seconds or a first. You know what I mean? Like, you were able to just throw some stuff and get it done. So that kind of shows me those two are interchangeable, and Judkins has probably joined both of them now that all the off the field stuff seems to be. It can still creep up, but it's out of people's minds for now. So easy 104. What are you doing 105?
We haven't gone to Mecca Ibuka yet.
Yes, Shane. I just took him at 102.
You took him at 102. Okay, so I missed that. So it's Genty.
Shane was not paying attention to the draft when I was
I quickly lost interest. So Genty, Emeka Ibuka, Omarion Hampton, Quinshon Judkins.
Correct. Yes.
There
you go. I'm putting them back on the screen so everybody can see.
Okay.
But mostly so Shane can remember. But anyway.
So this is where it gets interesting, right? So it's 1.75 tight end premium. So that kind of makes me want to go Tyler Warren. If I throw out any preconceived draft notions, there's another guy, but I don't think I'll go here. So I'm going to go Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is literally everything that we were told he was going to be. Now, so was Brock Bowers last year, and then this year happened. But he's everything we were told. And they're using him literally as Penn State did. He's got a passing attempt. He's got a few rushing attempts here and there. He's got a decent target share every week. The dude's an end zone monster. So, yeah, I'm going Tyler Warren. Have you tried to trade for Tyler Warren?
I have not.
It is you will not get it done. And it's just not happening.
He would be a trade away guy for me, to be honest. Yeah. But that's mostly just how you can play the tight end position. Like, he's very good. He's a top 10 tight end or better probably for the foreseeable future. But there's going to be some years where he's not top 3. There could be a year where he's tight end 2. Like,
I don't know.
I was listening to an anonymous podcast. I'm not even going to say who it was today, but they were just talking about Tyler Warren, and basically the comp to Tyler Warren was Tucker Kraft, that he still cannot do the things that even like Dalton Kincaid can do, but he's getting schemed to do everything that he's doing, which is fine. But I don't think, here's what I don't think about Tyler Warren, and this is why I wouldn't put him up there with Bowers or McBride. I do not see a world where he is such a dominant pass catcher where he's getting a 30% target share. He's just getting 100 catches. Like, I don't think that happens. Now, if you're telling me he's going to throw for a touchdown and he's going to run for 2 more, and I see how you could put him up there, but I'm willing to bet that he's more he's a very good tight end, but the exponential production above just what I can get if I have a decent top 8 tight end, I'm not paying that tax when he's going at the price that he's going. I mean, like, what would you sell him for? It sounds like you're not willing to sell him.
First of all, I'm just paying a rookie pick to get him, so I don't care.
I get that.
I'm fine.
But you started this with, have you tried to trade for him, which is obviously not a rookie pick.
Oh, I tried something like RJ Harvey and Colston Loveland. And
nobody likes those guys anymore.
I sometimes I think that people that play Dynasty might think more than, this week. That's my fault. That's my fault because I should know better. I should know that the only thing that matters is yesterday. Tomorrow doesn't even matter in Dynasty, which is fine. That's how we play it now. But yeah, now a couple deals like that. Like I even tried like George Kittle and I think RJ Harvey at one point, and to someone that is could have used both pieces, but whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, I'm being facetious. I mean, we'll see where those guys go. There's quite a few players that we're probably wondering like who's going to take them. Is anyone excited about those names? Like they will get picked. It's just obviously with the rookies and the week-to-week game, like you're much less likely to be able to trade one of those guys if it's like, oh, he had 5 touches and didn't do anything. Now, RJ Harvey, after his big game a couple weeks ago, Colston Loveland, if he would have continued that first quarter that he had when he got injured, okay, we're having a different conversation. And that's one of the things you have to analyze is like any of these guys, especially the ones that are playing a lot, like they could have that week at any moment. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, all right, I'm up for 2. I think those obvious picks are probably pretty close to out of the way, but Ted McMillan, 106. Damn. I don't know how great he is in this format. Like I probably wouldn't want to pay this high of a price. I'd still prefer going in a different direction, but I think of all the rookies, he's the only one where you're like, he's solidified. People know he's good. People think he's good. People like him. They don't like his quarterback, but they're fine with his situation. They're just hoping the situation gets better. So he's a clear 106. And then 107, I think this is just pure. Like you could consider Cam Ward, you could consider Jackson Dart, you could consider the running backs we haven't mentioned, you could consider Travis Hunter, you could consider Colston Loveland for the format. Like this is kind of the dead pick, don't you think? Where you kind of have to pick. And man, I all that goes through my head, Shane, is the negative on every player that I haven't picked. Does that make me a cynic or what?
No. I mean, if there wasn't negatives.
It should be Cam Ward, but I've been very vocal about how bad he's looked. And it should be Jackson Dart, but I am still worried about Jackson Dart's next 6 months. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If everything goes south and Neighbors is coming off a knee injury, like it just feels like it could be a tumultuous start for Jackson Dart. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm still going to believe that all it's going to take is a quarter. And so, you know where I'm going with this?
It's got to be RJ Harvey.
It's not.
It can't be Trev Henderson.
It's Trev Henderson. It is Trev Henderson. So I'm going Trevion Henderson at the 107. That's simply because if the next game, he's going to get more work because Gibson's not going to be there.
Allegedly.
Now,
not allegedly Gibson won't be there. Allegedly, he'll get more work.
He played more than half the snaps when Gibson left. So he's going to get more work. But if he doesn't do anything with him, I can see people turning sour on him pretty quickly. But if he had his 10 touches and a highlight play and a touchdown next game, Shane, you won't be able to trade for him. I don't know if that exists with any of the other rookies, maybe 1 or 2, but I'm not worried about that happening with Dart. I'm not worried about that happening with Ward. Probably not worried about that happening with either Travis Hunter or Colston Loveland. So there it is, Trevion Henderson. Now you get to make 2. Curious what you do.
Oh, I get to make 2. So this is kind of cheating because I get to take the 2 next running backs that I want to take, and it doesn't even matter which order I take them in. So I'm still taking RJ Harvey. Okay. He's actually done nothing wrong. It's this J.K. Dobbins has been just sublime. You want to know the rushing yards over expected leaders for the season?
Let's hear it.
Number 1, Javonte Williams. Number 2, J.K. Dobbins. Number 3, David Montgomery. 4, Judkins. 5, Travis Etienne. That's 3 dudes that were left for dead for the most part in Etienne, Dobbins, and Javonte Williams.
And it's not fruitful like we thought it would be. The last 3 years with Russell Wilson and last year with Knicks, the Broncos led the league in running back target share.
Yeah.
Like you just thought anybody back there is, even if Harvey gets 10 touches a game, you were assuming half of those were going to be screens or plays where, they're designed for him. And it's like, he hasn't gotten that. So even if he doesn't explode, I figured he would be, didn't we talk about it all summer? He would be one of the most usable rookie running backs early, just assuming the role he was going to play, and he just hasn't. Instead, Tyler Bidet has like 10 catches. Why couldn't Harvey have gotten those?
And that's the worst part of it, is that they're wasting snaps on Tyler Bidet. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. That's Sean Payton wanting to show you that he's smarter than everyone else in the room. And he's just a smug asshole like that. I really can't stand that guy. He is just a smug piece of shit. But that's neither here nor there for fantasy football purposes. But what matters for fantasy football purposes is he wants to show you how smart he is. And you know how he does that? By putting a trash can like Bidet out on the field instead of the running back that they spent a second round pick on.
Second rounder, yep. End of the second. 60th, I believe.
Yeah, he just wants to show you how smart he is. That's literally it. And the problem is the dude's a douchebag, and that's going to continue. He'd rather show you how smart he is than win. So Harvey's role, unfortunately, is probably not going to change short of a J.K. Dobbins injury. That said,
you get 109. You already took him.
I already took. I think you have to take Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. I think you have to.
No way.
Nah, I think you have to. Look,
it's your pick. Talk.
I did a whole video on why you should sell Bill in the offseason, right before the season started. I said, and just so it's out there, because people were acting like I said sell him for anything. I was like, get something good. You know what I mean? Because he has value. The dude is, I mean, there's a bunch of advanced metrics that indicate he is the best running back in the league. Now, part of it was on a small sample size, and we'll see how that carries over with a larger sample size, which we think he will see this week, right? Last week was the first time that he passed or had more rushing attempts than Chris Rodriguez. I don't know why they gave Chris Rodriguez the ball, but whatever. He also had a couple catches, right? And that was one of the things that worried me about him coming out of college is, one, he didn't have any receiving profile in college, even going back to the junior colleges that he went to. Into his draft capital. But at this point, I don't care about either of those things, because they have shown that they will target him at least a little bit, at least enough that you can get some points off of it. And obviously the efficiency is going to drop at some point, but hopefully the volume should pick up and make up for that.
So I'm curious, at what point would you say, if any of these picks were there, you would just take a future pick and not have to pick one of these players?
Oh,
are we to the point where
we passed that?
You can't even sell the player for a future first?
No, you could get a future first for RJ Harvey. You can get a first for Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. People were getting first. People were getting first for JCM before the season started.
You're saying right now you could trade.
Yeah.
Could you trade Trev Henderson for a future first?
Would I?
No. Could you? If I went out and just spammed them, and I'm not here. Here's the thing. Future first is a bad term, because there's 5 teams in my league that would love to trade a random future first that they've parsed out and said,
like it's a late first. Right.
Yeah, it's one that I'm like, if it's 108, it doesn't kill me.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 other teams that are like, over my dead body, am I trading a first for a non-top 2 or 3 player? So it's really like the pick that you're uncomfortable trading, because it could be the 104. But it also could be the 109.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the breaking point of where you're trading that pick for what player? Is it Harvey? Is it Hendo?
No, you know
personally, just how you play.
I think we're still at the spot where I'm not trading the pick yet. Or the
where
player
would it have been? Who would have been the last player?
No.
McMillan?
No. I still don't think we've reached that point.
So no, I think you're misinterpreting the question. When would you trade your pick?
To get one of these players.
To get one of the players.
So I 100,000% misunderstood the question.
Shane, you would have traded the pick. You would not have taken. You would have traded the 107 before the draft for the first.
Okay. We're not.
Are you trading your mid first for Tet? Given you have the future flexibility.
I absolutely. Yeah. I love Tet. So
Hendo.
There's still. Real quick, just Janikowski's bringing up some of the names that people are starting out there. Dart, Scat, Ward, Golden, Hunter, Loveland, Fannin, still available.
Come on, Jan, you're killing me. I was hoping Shane Henderson forgot about all those guys.
Trev Henderson, I might be a prisoner of the moment, but I'm not trading a first for him because I shouldn't have to.
So then it's right here, right? Henderson, Harvey, JCM. That's the point where you're not just throwing a first for one of those guys.
Well, I would have taken Harvey before Trev Henderson, so I would have.
Then answer: would you do it for Harvey then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I still believe. Sometimes I'm just so what's the word I'm looking for? It's too what's the word? I don't know, stubborn. There you go, stubborn. And I don't want to let go of my priors, but I still think the dude's going to be really good.
So it's about that 107, 108 range where you think some people would start to back off trading first for the players that are remaining.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, we have 3 picks left in the first. I don't hate both of these picks, but I think it lines up with the exercise we just did. I'll go Cam Ward at 110, Jackson Dart at 111. You could interchange them. 2 weeks ago, everyone was all about Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Now it's like Jackson Dart lost neighbors. He was god-awful in the Saints game to the point where you kind of do wonder if he's that good. I don't know if you've noticed, Shane, but their neutral pass rate on Jackson Dart is the lowest in the league. So basically, like, they do not want him to throw. I don't blame him for not wanting to throw because he's throwing to terrible players. But they are first-round quarterbacks. They are going to have a leash. My worry with Dart is that they end up cleaning house, and then he is a lame duck. I mean, you know the coach speak, right? Or the front office speak is we're going to have to find a guy that likes Jackson Dart. But how often does that work? When you take over a job and you take over somebody else's staff and employees, at some point you're going to go, if this isn't perfect, what do? The blame gets laid onto who was there before you took over. So I'm not saying that's possible, but I don't want to see a complete regime change and overhaul because it could be the GM too. Like, I don't want to see that if you're banking on a quarterback. And with Cam Ward, like, Cam Ward's been awful. I've been very vocal about it, but it's not about Cam Ward is going to be a bust. I think when people see me ragging on Cam Ward, they think I'm saying he's terrible. He sucks. He'll never make it. All I'm saying is that where he's at through 5 games, it is not comparable to even the quarterbacks that you now say suck. There's people that say Bo Nix is overrated. CJ Stroud, overrated. Like, he's not even close to where those guys were. And look where those guys are a year or 2 into their career. Shane, people were already done with CJ Stroud. Yeah. He's overvalued. I don't want him anymore. You know what I mean? Like, we're not on a good trajectory for Cam Ward to even be in a position where he's getting like a second contract and he's a solidified top 15 or 18 quarterback. And that's like the minimum I expect if he's the 101 and he's a high first round pick. So that's why I'm kind of bashing on him, is like, if you just run what he's done through 5 games, every one of the comps is like terrible players. Josh Rosen, Zach Wilson, Anthony Richardson. You know what I mean? Like, just awful quarterbacks. So I don't know. Maybe his market bounces back, but you got to take those 2, Ward and Dart. So you finish it up. Round 1.
Oh, boy. I'm still taking Travis Hunter. Take Travis Hunter. I held on to a lot of my priors in this draft, it looks like, and I'm happy it looks like guys are falling to me.
We'll sell people on Hunter because I think he's interesting. Like, you saw it for a couple stretches during that game on Monday, right? A highlight play and Twitter goes freaking crazy.
And that's the thing, right? So part of it is that the community wants to believe.
Yes.
Because when that happened, everybody's like talking, I told you he's great. I told you great. Meanwhile, he ended up with 3 receptions for 60 yards or whatever. But it's still it's the perception that we had before the season, before they decided to use him as like a gadget player or a specialty package player or whatever the hell it is, however they're using him. But we saw like that little flash from a real football perspective. That catch he made shows his ability, the type of player that he can be. He's going to need the opportunity. Parker Washington's going to have to go away apparently for him and Brian Thomas Jr. to get any run. But I still think that it's way too early to say that a player that a lot of us were drafting, or not a lot of us, but some of us were drafting in the top 4, you should be getting off of already. I don't see it. And that's probably the same way I feel with a lot of these players.
This is a good comment from Will. Shout out to Will.
Yeah.
The people that took him at the real high point of the rookie draft, he could be the next Jefferson. He's the wide receiver 1 in the class. They're quiet. And I did it in one league. There was a league where I thought it made sense for me to take him there. And I haven't said a word. I haven't tried to trade him. Nothing. Like, that's the league where I'm probably dug in. And I think a lot of people that took him that high are, there's no point in even trying to package him up and trade him because you're getting 50 cents on the dollar.
Credit. Yeah, you're getting barely any credit for him.
But he's true. He's right. There isn't anybody that's like, ooh, I mean, we talked about this in the Discord a couple of weeks ago, and there's nothing that's happened since we had that conversation. If I have one first-round pick that I'm given every year, like, that's not what I'm going to just buy. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm a decent team, like, that's not what I want to use it on. Even if he does have some upside, even if he can pop, like, it just doesn't feel like that's where I want to park it. So he's right. Like, there isn't anybody that's like, oh, I have a spare first. Let me just go buy Travis Hunter first. I'm trying to probably buy some of the other rookies that we've already talked about before him. So do you believe that stuff about Liam Cohen said he never practices offense, never did it in college?
No.
Never even practiced?
No,
like, if that's true, that is pretty amazing.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
He's never played offense, never practiced, just goes and plays the games.
I mean, if that's true, then the upside is unlimited.
That's what he said. Said he'd never practice on offense. He just practiced on defense, and like just natural talent went out there and.
What did Dion say about that?
Won. So I'm not sure. 201. What are you doing?
Oh, we're drafting again. We're still going. Okay, 201.
Yeah, we're going to second round. There's still plenty of good players.
I'm not taking Caveman CMC. Nope.
Why not? It's the second. Shane. What has he done to you?
That's fine. Nothing. He's a volume back. He's very good. He's going to be. What did we just? We comped him to Najee Harris. Was that the comp we gave him, or was it Rashad White? Rashad White. He's going to be a Rashad White, which is. Dude, Rashad White gave me some really good years. I think in this format, though, even with the PPC,
you're talking yourself into him.
That's
okay. No. You don't have to take him. You go somewhere else, and I'll scoop him up at the 202, and it'll be glorious.
I'm going to take Colston Loveland. Taking Loveland.
Well, I mean, he's shown so much.
He hasn't shown anything. No, he hasn't shown a thing. But again, he's a rookie tight end, which generally that doesn't go well, right? I know there's been some anomalies over the last couple of years, but generally that's not going to go well. But you have to believe at some point when you spend a top 10 pick on a tight end, I think it was 10, right? Top 10. Mm-hmm. When you do that, you would assume at some point they're going to be a part of your offense. Again, sometimes I just do 1+1 and it should equal 2, even though in the NFL, a lot of times 1+1 equals, the letter B, and it doesn't make any sense. But
that analogy was a struggle bus as well. But okay.
But no, I mean, like Loveland, there's nothing I can sell you on that he's done this year. There's absolutely nothing I can sell you on that he's done this year. So this is literally just all his draft capital, and I think the Bears are going to at some point feature him.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the second. We've already gotten to the point where, like, we thought it was interesting to not give up a first for the last 3 or 4 players, but we're in the range now where how many players available now are you giving up clear seconds for? There's a couple, but it gets to the bottom of the second, middle to the bottom of the second, and you're kind of like, I kind of would rather hold my second. We're close.
I think after Scattaboo, we're actually done for me. Maybe no.
Let's go through the draft. When we get to that point, you hit the dealer. I don't think we have the dealer Doniel music in here.
Is that
no, we don't have it loaded in here. It's only for
is that Deal or No Deal? Is that it though?
Don't have that in here.
Yeah,
well, no, it's the one that we play 15 minutes to go in Dynasty Deal Show. Ty always plays it, but I don't have it in here, so I couldn't play it. But Cam Scattaboo 202, it's point per carry. Even if he is Najee Harris, I don't think he is, because Najee Harris held up to an extremely high workload for 4 years. Like, yes, he was a first-round pick. Maybe he didn't deserve to be that, but like if you could just get that volume in a point per carry, that is well worth anything in the second. Probably worth more like a mid-first-ish. Mm-hmm. So Scattaboo's pretty easy here, assuming even if he doesn't have the role, if he just has this, and it's interesting because the way he plays and the way people kind of talk about him, they think it's almost like you would think he's like 250 pounds. You know what I mean? You'd think he's just this monster. And then you look at him like you can tell he's thick, but he doesn't look like he clearly stands out amongst everybody on the team. So it's just interesting. I think he has a role in a point per carry. You got to respect it.
that was part of my concern with him in the league was how's that game going to translate? Because the NFL is bigger, right? You're not running over future accountants. Well, maybe someone in the NFL retired, become an accountant, but generally you're not. But so far it's translated well enough. More than what I mean. He's a good pass catcher, so he's always going to have a role. That's why the Rachaad White comp to me is just very good. Like I could see him being a very inefficient runner, but he's always going to have that in his back pocket that he's a guy that can see a ton of targets. So he just needs to be just good enough as a runner to stay on the field so that he can also get targets.
And I think he does enough that the coaches will want him on the field a certain amount until the team could easily get a better running back in there. Like, let's say they drafted a better running back next year. He's not the kind of guy you want the better running back to have to compete with. You know what I mean? Because they'll constantly keep him on the field for specific roles. So 202, I'll go Harold Fannin at 203. I mean, it's wild that people were talking paying first for him 3 weeks ago. But I don't think a lot of what he's done. I mean, Shane, he is on the Browns. So, like, I still think there's room for growth. I think if they moved Njoku, people would go nuts. Dylan Gabriel could end up being good for Fannin because I don't know if he can throw the ball more than about 5 yards down the field. So maybe we see some Fannin games with Gabriel. I don't think it's probably out of the realm of possibility that he finishes as a top 15 tight end this year with a couple more good games. Like, I think he's right in that mix.
I mean, he's getting more playing time than Njoku, I believe. Pretty sure he's running more routes. So
there's a lot of outs with Fannin, and people like him. Like the way he does it, people like. So who you going at 204?
Mason Taylor.
So you could put Taylor and Fannin. They're just pick your poison. They're neither of them are in great situations, but they're both probably pretty decent.
Taylor's in a great situation considering he's the second target in the Jets offense.
For him, yes. Now,
right. For right now. Now, obviously, if you're the Jets, that's probably not ideal. And there's going to come a time when he's not the second option in that offense, unless he's just Travis Kelce or I don't know, Dalton Kincaid or turns into Dalton Kincaid this year. But yeah, no, I love Mason Taylor. He's quickly taken over the second to become the second option in that offense, which is why I liked him in the offseason, because that was of all the tight ends that we liked besides Tyler Warren, he had the clearest path to being like immediately useful. And he's been immediately useful the last 3 weeks.
Yep.
And that's going to continue the rest of this year. And honestly, if I'm picking at 204, if I can get a player that I know is going to help me this year, I'm all for it.
All right. So 204, 205, who are you taking?
This is where
is it? I forgot. Is this the breaking point?
Yeah, we're broke.
You're not giving up it.
No,
I think there's 2 or 3 second. Other players I'd give up. No, just a random second, not a late second. You could be 204 next year.
All right, let me go with, and this is just going to be. I really want to do one thing, but I don't have the balls to do it. I'm taking Woody Marks. I'm taking Woody.
Not where I thought you were going, but I can see it.
Yeah, look, I
point per carry. Any carry he gets, it's points on top of what a receiver could get or a tight end. So
yeah, assuming he gets carries, assuming he's on the field, assuming that he's going to get more playing time than Nick Chubb, assuming that D'Amico Ryans isn't just going to lie to us and say we're going to see how much he can handle and then give him less snaps. Now, part of it is the Houston was destroying. Who are they? I forget who they were playing. The Jets. Ravens. Sorry, the Ravens. It's same difference at this point, the Jets and the Ravens. Oof, sorry, guys. But yeah, they were absolutely destroying them. So he didn't need to be on the field anymore. But it kind of sucked for us. So it'll be interesting to see when they're in a close game script again, what the usage breaks down as. But I like Woody Marks a lot, man.
Wait till Joe Mixon announces he's coming back.
Joe Mixon, the only thing he's announcing is his retirement. And that's not happening.
Okay. All right. So Woody Marks 205. So that means you would pay a random second for Woody Marks.
I'll be honest with you. It would have to probably be pretty good chance that it's a later second.
Okay. So we're already at that point where 205, you'd be trying to go the other way.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to make the pick.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking I should have won another pick, but okay.
I mean, the next person hasn't picked. You could technically tell redacted, but I am going to jump in and snipe you. I think there's maybe 4 players potentially that could be under consideration here. All of them, I think, are some hopium. I think you got to go. See, I would have gone this guy over Woody Marks.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone Facial Tootin over Marks.
Okay.
He's Woody Marks already popped, right? In the game where he had like 20 touches or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But I think if that would have been Tootin, people would have gone crazy because of how good the Jags offense has been running the ball. Like, I think if he gets a standalone opportunity and does something with it, like, look how you already mentioned how good ETN's been.
Yeah.
Imagine if Tootin has one of those games where he has 140 yards and a touchdown and like he just looks like he can do everything. Like, I think people will be more excited for him than they would Woody Marks. And then 207. I mean, I should take Matthew Golden because he was a first-round receiver.
Oh, my goodness. I completely forgot about Matthew Golden.
But
not that I would have taken him over any of these guys.
Well, no, but yeah. This kind of is the is that point where it's like you pick who you want. I could say I should take Luther Burden if you like him. You could argue taking Yeah, I don't think I can go there yet. I think I would have to take Matthew Golden, and it was just because he's a first-round pick. But here's the thing, Shane. Remember, he had 2 games. He had the Dallas game, which you thought was going to be a great matchup, which he did okay in that game. But obviously, Romeo Doubs had the big game. Then they had the bye week, which kind of killed the Matthew. Even though his Trinity the last 2 weeks has been great, the bye week kind of killed the vibes. And then now he has the Bengals this week. So like, he needs to do something. Because then all of a sudden you're looking at Christian Watson coming back. Jaden Reed comes back in like week 12 or whatever it is. And all of a sudden it's like, where is the Matthew Golden pop where he is clearly the number 1 option on the team or even one of the top 2? That's what I'm kind of worried. If he doesn't fire, you know what they did, Shane? They re-signed Christian Watson and they still have Tucker Kraft, Jaden Reed. Like, doesn't it feel like Matthew Golden could get lost a little bit next year if he doesn't fire this year?
I gotta be honest.
He'll have a role, but a role where you're going to be speculating with nothing more than like a random second like this, right?
So I'll say this: Matthew Golden, the ascent hasn't been fast, right? It's been a slow climb to get his snap share, his route participation up. Not route share, excuse me, route participation up. Like, it's taken a little time, but I do think. Yeah, you know what? No, I hate the Green Bay offense. This is what it's always going to be. They're not going to, the targets aren't going to just coalesce around one person. It's just not going to happen. And they don't like to throw anyway.
It's a low neutral pass rate, and it's it's spread way too many thin. It's way too thin. It feels like the only way Golden hits is if he took the bull by the horns and showed you have to change the way you're playing. It feels like he's a lot more of just a complimentary receiver that's going to be fine. But I don't know if he's clearly better than Jaden Reed or Romeo Doubs are produced. And I don't want to pay for that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think I 100% think he's better than those players, but I don't think it matters.
What I'm saying is that both of those guys have produced like 800, 900 yard seasons. I'm not sure he just clearly exceeds that. And if he doesn't have the perception that he's going to, I just don't think people are going to look at him as something they need to buy. They may buy him in pockets when he's productive, but I don't think he's an asset you have to go speculatively buy today. You know what I mean? I can wait and pay the price. Like, I don't want to compare him to Quentin Johnston because I think that's a lofty ceiling for him. But Shane, you can still get Quentin Johnston for like a first. If his name was Travis Hunter doing that, he'd be unattainable. You know what I mean? There's bias. And I think that's going to happen with Golden. Because, hell, you didn't even like Golden. Even when he was a first rounder, you didn't even like him.
No, but I was taking him, right? I was taking him when we got to the Cam Scattaboo type portion of the draft. 201s, 112s, whatever, right in there.
Now what? This is where it gets tough. 208. You have 2 picks.
Luther Burden.
Okay.
I'm not going to go through the whole speech. See my conversation on RJ Harvey and Colston Loveland. Same reasoning. Jesus. Christmas. Is there a rookie I'm forgetting?
There's plenty of rookies. There's just not any that I think you're jumping after. There's a few that have been pretty productive, but they're probably not the ones you want to chase. And there's some that got draft capital that haven't done much at all. So
right, like so, just running through the list here. Oof, goodness, it's not great. You know what? I'm just gonna shoot for someone that has a cult following. Isaac Tesla.
My goodness, I did not expect to go there.
Look what's available, right? You're looking at Brashard Smith. He's done nothing. You're looking at Caleb Johnson. No one likes Caleb. Caleb is I could get Caleb in the 4th round if we were really drafting right now.
No, I'm probably consider taking Caleb Johnson.
All right,
it's a point per carry.
Okay.
All he needs is to get opportunity. Now, will he ever get it? I don't know. But even if he takes the path of, I'll explain that when I pick him. Why Isaac Tesla? Is it as simple as like people love the dude?
No, you know what? I just messaged to Kamish and I said, oh, that was a mistake. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And I'm going to draft Caleb Johnson. You know what? I believed in the guy.
I posted anything in the chat because
I believe
my pick.
I believed in the guy before the season, right? And honestly, well, except for not being able to break into the rotation over Kenny freaking Gainwell, I guess I was going to say, what has he not done? What has he done to make you think that he can't play? But I guess not beating out Kenny Gainwell to be in the rotation is a pretty good sign that things aren't great. But I still like him a lot. I do. I still think he's very talented. And with these rookie running backs, all it takes is one game, right? Jaylen Warren, he's been injured throughout his career. And Kenny Gainwell, despite putting up 87 points or whatever he did the previous week, is not really good. He's a fine role player in the NFL, but I think what we saw a couple weeks ago was a mirage.
Yeah, I can't argue with it for the format. That's the thing. Right. I mean, look at Trey Benson. Very similar to Caleb Johnson last year. Barely could even get on the field. Now, he at least got in to do a little bit, but like all it takes is opportunity in a short window in a point per carry like this, that it is worth a second. And that might just be a production bet. That's the thing. Mm-hmm. You if you're actually drafting in a format like these, like you're going to take the running backs, even if it means I just have them in case I ever need to use them. But the scoring is so dominant if they do get a workload that it's hard to pass that up for. I mean, someone mentioned like Aya Manor. There's Jaden Higgins still out there. Like those guys could be good. Torrey Horton. I don't want that type of receiver in this format unless I can sell them. Unless it is hey, I'm drafting Aya Manor and I'm going to turn around and trade him for, a running back I can start in a 3rd or something like that. But that's more of like a trade theory question. That's more of I'm banking that somebody else doesn't understand the format and they'll just buy the name. So with this format, Shane, I am going to take Ollie Gordon. So we're at 1. What are we at? 210? Yeah, 210. Because these are my only 2 picks. We're going to go Ollie Gordon at 210. Just what I said. I mean, you hope the Dolphins get better. You hope the Dolphins survive to where they're still caring about the season later on into it. But, dude, if Ollie Gordon got a spot start tomorrow and you told me he's going to get 20 carries, 20 touches, like he's easily where, like you could easily see him do kind of like maybe not have Rico Dowdle's game, but like he could be like what Jordan Mason was. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like that's an easy smash in a point per carry. And this one might surprise you a little bit, but it's literally a destitute range right now, unless you want to take a bunch of running backs. And I think if we were drafting this over, there's still 15 running backs that are on a 53 right now that I would collect, but I wouldn't pay anything for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The Trevor Etiennes, the Jarquez Hunters, like those guys are fine. I'm just not giving you picks for them. But if I can pick them up for free or draft them with picks that I have no other things to do with, sure, I'll take them. But here's my 211 because I think there's a small chance this happens. Dylan Gabriel.
Okay.
There's just a world where he starts the rest of the year and somehow they win 5 games and they go, you know what? We're going to give him one more year. It's like the Davis Mills bet. It's a long shot, but it's possible. Look at Spencer Rattler this year. Similar thing. He got in there last year. Everyone kind of were like, they're going to get a better quarterback. Yes, they drafted Tyler Shuck, but that could happen too. You know what I mean? Where the Browns they just don't hit on a quarterback or they don't take one. And he's back. He gets another year of starts. And so Am I crazy for saying I wouldn't pay a second though for Dylan Gabriel in any world?
No,
but I would draft
should
him.
You.
So
yeah, nor should you. But also, I mean, just it's not a linear, or that's not the word I'm looking for. But anyway, so now we're down to
6 point per passing TD. So like the format, any starter I'd rather have. So that maybe is the tiebreaker. But your last pick, 212.
He's a starting quarterback. He is a starting quarterback. Let me see. Is there anyone I really even like here? Let's go back to the running back list.
For KTC, the best players not picked: Elijah Arroyo.
Okay, I do like
Terrence
Elijah
Ferguson.
a lot. Okay, no.
Alec Iamaner. Torrey Horton.
Let's go Torrey Horton.
Jaden Higgins, Isaac Tesla. Those are the ones that.
Well, I drafted Isaac Tesla. Oh, no, I didn't. I tried.
No, you put him back in the pool.
Yeah, you're right.
It would be typical Shane where he takes him, puts him back in the pool, and then skips him like 4 more picks.
Oh, no, he's definitely.
What the hell were you debating him 209, but now you're taking another receiver over?
Who's got more? So who do you think has more hype? Or who is
more hype?
Better for resale? Tesla. It's probably
Torrey
Tesla.
Horton has been better. I think Torrey Horton has a better path because
he does.
JMO they just extended, and Sam Laporta's there, and Amon-Ra's there. Like it's going to be tough for Isaac Tesla to be anything more than like Alec Pierce. He could be fun. He could make some big plays, but I think it's more if he somehow had like 2 touchdowns in a game. Like I've tried to sell all my Tesla because it just where's the production going to come? He's fun, but I don't think he's an asset. Torrey Horton. So you're going to go Torrey Horton?
Yeah, I'm going to go Torrey Horton. And to your point, right, I have multiple rosters with Alec Pierce on them. And Alec Pierce is fun as hell on your roster when you accidentally stick him in your starting lineup and he drops 30 points off of just wild, long plays. He's not so fun, the other 75% of the time when he's giving you 0 to 4 points. Thank you for talking me out of Tesla. So you talked me out of Tesla twice, and I appreciate that. That's why you're my best friend.
Yeah. Hey, Tesla could be the one that easily you could be getting a second for. People were paying seconds after the preseason.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think there's a wrong answer. Here's what's crazy, Shane. We already mentioned Iamaner, Tesla, the tight ends. I mean, Ferguson and Arroyo haven't done anything bad.
No, I like Arroyo.
They're rookies that have got on the field. They've both made some plays. Like, you can't ask much more of mid-round rookie tight ends that are not the starter on their team to start the year, but yet we still don't like them. Why the hell were people paying seconds for him in rookie drafts?
I like Arroyo.
I think we reasonably didn't draft them in this draft. So why were people? I mean, how can we learn from this going forward? Because I've always been a big proponent of don't draft these types of tight ends for this reason. Like, what did you expect these guys to do? Yeah. Did you expect them to have the Harold Fannin 10-catch game in week 3? Is that why you picked them?
If you were drafting these tight ends, you were drafting them. I'm saying
late second.
The thought process was definitely at some point this year they're going to be starting, because otherwise you could just trade a third for the guy next year if you really like him.
But we're only in week 6. Do we not think they can start the rest of the year? You just took freaking Torrey Horton over.
You calm down over there. I'm just saying that was the thought process at the time. There's a couple picks I already don't like of mine in this draft that I'd go back and redo if I could. I'm going to email the commission too. Again, now I'm emailing them and I'm telling them I didn't mean to pick Torrey Horton. That was a mistake. And you know what? I'm drafting Elijah Arroyo.
Well, we've paused for round 3, so we'll let Shane.
No, we're done. That's it. 2 rounds is enough. I don't want to do this draft.
Elijah Arroyo.
Remember how deep this draft was? Get all the thirds and fourths you can. I'm already disgusted. Sure, I would have taken Iamaner. That's the only guy I think left that I like.
Well, it's funny because for the format, I'm not interested in really. You could sell me on the tight ends, but I'm not really interested in Iamaner, Horton, Jaden Higgins, Isaac Tesla. Guy we haven't even mentioned that's been totally forgotten about, that's probably in the best situation of any receiver that we didn't pick, is Trey Harris, who's a Keenan Allen injury away from potentially being way better than a lot of the guys. Didn't mention him. Jalen Knoll, didn't mention him at all.
Yeah.
Aronde Gadsden, another tight end that honestly has shown more than Ferguson and Arroyo, but we didn't even mention him. But like, I'm not interested in those types of players in this format. Maybe a tight end if I have the right build. But what do we always say on roster reviews? Dude, if you have like Kyle Pitts and Hunter Henry, you don't need to draft 3 tight ends. Like, I don't even want to pick tight ends. I'm more looking at like, who are the guys that we haven't mentioned that easily in 4 weeks we could be going, wow, I'd pay a second for those guys in point per carry. Any names come to mind? I mean, Jaden Blue comes to mind.
Jaden Blue, yeah.
I think DJ Giddens, if on that offense, if Jonathan Taylor got injured, you could see that. Kyle Monungai, same thing.
Yeah, but yeah. These are guys that are going to need something. Amar Johnson. I only know him because he was.
Would you put? What other players would you put in there? Would you maybe put
Jarquez Hunter,
Rashard Smith in there?
Rashard Smith, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
At some point I got to believe that he's going to get a chance this year.
Jarquez Hunter, you mentioned? You'd put him in there too? I mean,
nah, someone else mentioned him. Squid did. Squid mentioned Jarquez. Hey, we got a what do you call it? We can't miss it.
Super Dylan chat. Sampson? Yeah, hit the super chat. Anthony, right?
Dylan Sampson, that was fun. 1 week. Anthony Venable, $4.99. Hey, fellas, after your show with Brandon last week, I thought you'd be proud to see this construction. Team and DM, Scott, let us know what you think. Thanks.
Oh, what DM?
What DM? Where's the DM?
Now I got to check my. Okay, he sent me a message on Twitter.
Okay.
Then he sent me a link to his sleeper, which I can't click while I'm on the stream. That's bad streaming. I'll check it out, Anthony. I will DM you. I'll forward it to my secretary, Shane, to DM
that was back. Very anticlimactic. We just did the super chat, and I literally found nothing.
You waited for it for the entire show, and then you're like, oh yeah, refer to that tweet that DM on Twitter.
I mean, Dylan Sampson, it's like Dylan Sampson. Just real quick, Dylan Sampson, after that game, the first game, I swear to God, I saw him go for a second somewhere.
Oh yeah, because it was still up in the air what was going to happen with Judkins.
Yeah.
So it literally was. He came off. What was it? 8 catches or something like that in the first week.
Yeah.
And Judkins was still up in the air. And then the Judkins stuff happened quickly. Then they put him on the field quickly. He was good very quickly. And then they decided just to play Sampson behind Jerome Ford and not give him anything at all.
Right.
I'm almost to the point, is Dylan Sampson the handcuff, Shane?
No, it's Jerome Ford.
Like, if Judkins were to get injured, I don't even know what Sampson would have a role, but I don't know if it would be a role where you're like, I would pay for it.
You know what role he would take over? The Jerome Ford role. And Jerome Ford would take over the Quinshon Judkins role, which is wild because we thought they were drafting these guys to get rid of Jerome Ford.
And they might. But there was a window. There was a window with Sampson, and I think that's the thing. In this format, I would prioritize pretty much running backs the rest of the way.
Jordan James.
There are a lot of gross running backs. I mean, even guys that nobody has heard a peep from. Have you heard a single word about Taj Brooks?
No, I haven't, and it makes me very sad.
Is Devin Neal alive?
No. Oh, well, Kamara might not play this week.
Okay.
So he might touch the field.
The point is, there were some guys we drafted, and you were like, where are those guys now?
Giddens?
I mean, Giddens at least has played.
Yeah.
Like, he's gotten some carries. So, I mean, he's played. Trevor Etienne played a little bit. But, like, these guys were not even clearly – they've already had opportunity and haven't done much. But in the format, that's where I would want to use my picks on. And then we didn't even mention the wild cards. And this is going to be the last thing. I want to spend like 2 minutes talking about this. We haven't even mentioned – and I think this is where we can learn from a few things, Shane. Jalen Milroe, people were taking him in the second. Was that just a bet that Sam Darnold was going to suck?
Yes.
And now that he doesn't suck, do you have any value in Jalen Milroe at all? Because Sam Darnold's looking like, man, they may give him another extension before he's too good. You know what I mean? Like, this could be the one where they're already talking about, man, this is such a great fit. We better give him a 2 more year extension on top of the 3-year deal we gave him because he might get too expensive. Like, it feels like Milroe is just, he's like Malik Willis at this point, where you hope there's a backup opportunity where he gets a spot starter too, but he's asset wise, he's effectively dead. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and it was a bet against Sam Darnold. It was everyone.
But is there a lesson to be learned that you probably shouldn't make that bet with the 209?
Well, let me ask you this. So who did we just take at the 209?
We took exactly Caleb Johnson.
Okay, I'm still taking Caleb well over Jalen Milroe. So then, yes. Yeah.
Yes. They're different. And the reason I wanted to transition to that with Milroe is because one thing I've learned is that we were talking about it at the beginning. To get trades done involving rookies, there's a clear delineation in the first round, which I think you said it was right around here. 108, RJ Harvey, Travion Henderson. That would be the range where it was like they might be worth future first still, depending on the managers.
Right.
And then you said it was what?
It was
around
like
205 Woody Marks.
Yeah,
Nathan
right around
Taylor,
there.
Woody Marks is the range where you're like, absolutely, I would pay a future second to get. Outside of that, though, like if you don't have firsts or seconds, what is the type of rookie? And I want to throw this to the chat too. What is the type of rookie right now? And we have a super chat that came in, so we'll get to that. Yeah. What is the type of rookie that you can add to another asset, whether that be a third to get something that's of use to start? So like I want to acquire like Deebo Samuel from you or Stephon Diggs from you. I want a productive veteran. You want to sell him. I'm clearly not giving a first, but I want to get a productive veteran, but I don't have a second. So like what type of rookie do I have to add to a third? Like, is there any of the rookies we didn't pick? Would they get the job done if I added them to a third? Like if I added an Arroyo to a third, does that get me to a usable starter? Or does it feel like it's flat?
Usable? Well, usable. You're not getting Deebo for that. Not after what Deebo's done this year.
Okay.
Now, usable that varies. Keenan Allen? Maybe you get Keenan Allen off me.
Okay. Can I get like, I think of I mean, obviously Devo's been productive. Stephon Diggs has been productive. Like those ones. Here's the thing. If those two guys have two bad games in a row, Shane, guess what? You could probably do it. That's the thing we're talking about the names that were just productive. But let's say I tried to go get DJ Moore. Nobody likes him.
No, they don't.
So could I get DJ Moore for Elijah Arroyo in a third? Alec Manor in a third? Could I get that type of deal done if I wanted?
I gotta be honest with you. I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I'd still want at least a second.
What types of rookies can I add to like a fourth? Or straight up, can I buy a spot starter with?
What
type of rookie? Because if you think about it, the hit rate on these rookies are very low, right? If you draft a 5th round player, the odds that he pops to where you're using him or he's a profit flip player very quickly is low. But like, I'm just looking at some of the guys that are on rosters that haven't really been bad. Like they play, they have a role, but they haven't done anything. Like what is Pat Bryant worth?
Nothing.
What is Kyle Williams worth? Those guys are on the field. They play. What else could you have asked for? The 4th or 5th receiver on a team coming in. Like they're fine.
Well, that's
what are they worth? Are they worth anything?
No.
So why continually pick those types of players?
Because you have to. We go through this every damn year. You have to make a pick if you can't move it. You can't. Well, no, you could let the clock run out and just go, no, I defer.
Shane, you can usually move like a third for 2
You can't always. You cannot always move picks. People that are making these picks for the most part, it's because they're locked into that picks. I don't think anyone in their right mind is like, woohoo, I got Jarquez Hunter. I'm so excited. Like that's what I was really hoping for.
Pumped up for him?
No, you know what you do? You talk yourself into it. Well, Kyle Williams, I'm just keep messing with hillbillies. Oh, Kyle Williams, you know why he could be good? Because he was drafted in the top 50, I believe. He was in the top 50, wasn't he? So he should have been.
No, he's 3rd round pick. I think he was picked 69. But Chris Sims said he was his wide receiver too.
Well, Chris Sims says lots of dumb shit. Yeah, he says lots of dumb shit. So I don't even. So do I. But he has a bigger stage. But he's more of an idiot. Anyway, you draft those players because you have no one else. You have nothing else to do. There's no other out. So then we talk ourselves into these players about how much we like them and why. We do. Yeah. We're like, oh no, I'm a Kyle Williams guy. I talk myself into liking Kyle Williams because I have to pick him in the 3rd round, and I want to feel like I'm smarter than the room, and I want to feel like I am going to hit on something. I have found something that other people haven't found, and that is I don't mean to keep saying Kyle Williams, but you know what I mean. It's players in that range.
Well, this sums it up before we get to the super chat. Right there. Showing this, but that is true.
Yeah.
There, if you go to KTC and you will find the
It appears that Scott has frozen. I don't know if anyone else notices that or if it's
Am I back now?
He's back. He's back, guys.
Yeah. KTC silenced me when I was about to say that their site is flawed. But when you go to KTC, there will be a point in the player pool, and you all can look at the ranks, and you'll see it, and you'll go, basically everything below that should just be worth nothing. It has to be worth something because it has to be worth something higher than what's below it. But like effectively, whether it says 1,800, 1,200, it's nothing. There is no liquidity. There is no actual value in, I mean, I'm looking right now, the rookies. It says on here, Shane, that Jalen Lane is worth 1,800 and Shamir DK is worth 1,700. Do you even care?
No.
They might as well be worth zero, because when it comes to an actual like trade negotiation, the odds you get credit for them at all, other than just you actually want to get rid of them so you could pick something else up off waivers, like that's the only value. So it's interesting what to do with a lot of those players, and you're forced to, like, if I'm looking right now, I have 7 shares of Jarquez Hunter. Now running backs are different because they can easily pop in a given week if they get an opportunity, but like receivers, Kyle Williams, Pat Bryant, Jalen Royals, you can't do anything with them. You can do nothing. You have to hope that when you make a trade, you can throw them in, and the benefit is you get a roster spot back. So right. Hit that super chat. I know we've
real quick. Anthony shared his team with us in a screen recording. Talk about his roster construction. So he's got Jackson Dart, RJ Harvey, Donovan Edwards, Roma Dunze. I'm checking on Twitter.
Dude, this is terrible streaming. You can't even see the question.
Hey, fellas, after your show with Brandon last week, I thought you'd be proud to see this construction team in the DM, Scott. Let me know what you think.
Okay. Yeah, I see that he sent me a screen recording of his team.
Yeah, I don't know. We've got Ryan Flournoy on the team, so I don't know how short. Yeah.
We'll hit you back, Anthony, because I'm listening. I just clicked on it right now. Like literally, it's the show playing in the background.
Yeah, it's gonna make my head explode. Like it's like an Inception moment. Like I think I just passed out. So now let's get the final super chat. Where is that?
I thought you had it starred. It was the 1999 one.
All right.
There you go.
Next, appreciate you, bro. 12 by 10 PPR, 1 quarterback. Give London, get Olave, a 26 first, late first, and a 27 second. I want more. LOL. So it's 1 quarterback, 12 by 10. Is Olave and a 26 first and a second, excuse me, enough for you to move off?
Well, it's 1 quarterback, so it's basically like a
Okay, Scott is. Yep, you're freezing again. I'm just gonna end this. This is how it's gonna go. Oh, good.
Am I back?
You're back. You're back. Right. If you'd like to answer the question, go for it.
I'm not doing this trade because it feels like you're breaking 1 strong piece up into 3. You might be getting more than $1 back, but it feels like you're getting back like $1.20, and it's all in coins. So I'm not really doing this. It feels like I'd rather get 2 strong pieces than 3 pieces like this. Just my opinion.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing this. This is not how I'm moving.
If it was another first, would that be enough volume for you?
Yeah, that would be enough.
So Olave and 2 firsts instead of the second. Yeah, I'm good with that. I think that's what you counter with. It's a 12 by 10. It's basically like a 12 by 11 in terms of the skill player scarcity, and I'm giving up a guy that's probably worth at least 2 firsts, and I have to take one of the, like Olave in a second is kind of equal to a first on paper, but that's not how I want to accept the payment. You know what I mean? Like it feels like I'm getting barely enough, but I'm also not getting it in the form of the value that I want. So I would just ask for, like, can I get another first on top instead of the second? Then I'm like, okay, you've given me enough pieces to play with. I'll take the trade. Because Olave is not bad, Shane. I think people kind of shit on Olave.
No, I like Olave.
He doesn't have a great situation, but he does have a good, I think, environment. You just need a better efficiency for his offense. But I think his environment's good. I like how the Saints play. But then you see those trade rumors about Olave, right? Like he could be the guy that's moved. It's like, okay, watch, he'll get traded to like the Jets. Then he's just absolutely ruined. But anyway, ask for a first next. That's what I'm doing. Cool, Shane. That's it. I thought we'd have like another segment that we could go to, but of course not. You and I talking. Only a 2-round mock takes an hour, but it was fun. I think it was interesting. I think something to take away from this would be if you have some of those rookies that we drafted after that 204, 205, 206 range, like what is your bet on some of those guys? Are you just forced, like Jalen Royals, are you forced to just wait to see if anything happens? And the key, especially with receivers, when is the cutting bait point? You don't want to have Jalen Royals next year, next summer. And you go, well, I thought he would pop last year, but he never did. But I didn't cut him yet because I don't have anybody else to roster. Like, think about that. Think about actively starting to get rid of some of these guys if you don't believe that they're ever going to pop and they're just roster cloggers.
Yep.
That is it. All right. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Good engagement from the crowd. Check out everything on the channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Dynasty Deal Show coming up on Friday. If you want more Shane and trades with Ty, check that out on the Trade and Chill tier. The link is in the description. And then you'll get Trinity Mondays with Ray and I. I've always said that, no offense to you, Shane, that is the funnest show to do during the season, just because it is like immediate when the Trinity stuff comes out, fun to react. So appreciate you, everybody in the community. We'll see you over there. And Shane, have a good night. Go. I don't want to say go Dodgers. Let's go Phillies. So you're a happy man.
Let's go.
All right. See you
Later.